The Share Registry is a first-of-its-kind international repository for clinical and laboratory data looking at hypertrophic and dilated cardiomyopathy. This data comes from 13 of the world's top research hospitals. By being able to cross-reference and study the data from the over 12,000 records, research from the Share Registry is giving us insight into inherited cardiomyopathy like that which we've never had before. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce a good friend who also happens to be a patient at Brigham and Women's Hospital, Buba DMA.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Buba. I'm from Mali and Senegal. I live here in Boston with my wife, Desiree. She's over there with our little boy, Burak. So it's a great honor for me to be here. It looks like a familiar place. People ask me if I work here, but I don't. I'm just a patient. So it will be a great honor for me to introduce our first speaker today. Before I do that, I wanted to share a little bit of my story with you. I was diagnosed in 2012, December. And one Saturday, after having chest pain for about 4 weeks, we decided, okay, it's time to go to the hospital and know what's going on. They did some x-rays, took forever, but eventually they came and be like, your heart is too big. No, we didn't know what that meant, but turns out that I had dilated cardiomyopathy. So that was the first diagnosis, and they put me on treatment for some time, and that seemed to be going well. Everything looked normal. And 2 years after, I was married to my wife at the time, and then became a dad. I had finished grad school, and we moved to Senegal, where I was born, and there I started my business in energy. And we really were happy. Everything was going well until beginning of 2016. I started getting the same cough that I initially got. Then we knew things were not, we knew something was wrong because we learned from the first time. And then, but it took for a while to get the treatment I needed. Eventually, between the doctors in Mali and Senegal, they put me on some liquid unloading treatment, and I felt better. So good enough that I was able to travel across the Atlantic all the way to California for a fellowship, that opportunity that I got. So eventually, my wife and I decided that we will come closer to our family here in Boston. So the doctors at the Southern Sacramento referred me to the doctors at the Brigham here, who turns out to be the best, but we'll get back to that. So when I arrived at the Brighams here, they confirmed the diagnosis, and then they also decided, okay, while we wait, we'll put you on we'll implant a device in your chest known as the LVAD, or left ventricular assist device. It's been about 15 months already since I've been on that with the device, and I'm really doing good. I remember last April last year, I could only walk about 300 feet. This was about three months after the transplant. But then by September, during the Boston Hard Work, we were already doing 6 miles. So I walked 6 miles that day with my family, and we were so happy that I continued walking again another 6 miles. But what was also special that day is that I was walking with my friends, with my family, but also, like I said, they're the best doctors. The doctors were there with me, and some of the nurses were there with me. So it was a very important day to bring everybody together and to show that we were grateful. To share why events like today are important, and why I really appreciate days like today, because it's a culmination of everything that's been going through in the field of medicine in terms of research, hard work, but also patient advocacy and patient feedback that is allowing me to be able to stand here today. And it's also allowing me to be able to take on life again, to be able to have hope again, to be able to dream again. And then it's been even more incredible that my wife and I are actually expecting 2 more boys, so we're expecting twins in July, August. So, thank you. But she's doing the hard work. So it's been quite a ride, but it couldn't be possible without the doctors and without the other patients that I talk with and all the friends we're making along the way.